Premier League Tottenham Hotspur vs Luton Town prediction, team news, lineups preview. A Tottenham Hotspur side intending to rise above a desired dotted line host a Luton Town outfit bidding to steer clear of dreaded dotted line in Saturday's Premier League showdown in North London. Ange Postecoglou's men produced one of their worst displays of the season in a 3-0 loss to Fulham 2 weekends ago, while the Hatters snatched a 1-1 draw versus Nottingham Forest. Match preview. Hitting Champions League rivals Aston Villa for 4 was not a sign of things to come for Tottenham Hotspur, who may have torn the 10-man Lions to shreds, but an 11-man Fulham crop outfought. Outwitted and outclassed a below-par Spurs 6 days later. 2 strikes from Rodrigo Muniz either side of an improvised Sasa Lukic finish condemned Tottenham to their 7th Premier League loss to the season. And that 3-goal defeat also brought an end to their magnificent 39-game scoring run in the English top flight, the second longest scoring streak in Premier League history. Victory at Craven Cottage by 2 or more goals would have been enough to propel the Lilywhites into the top 4 of the rankings, but on account of their joint heaviest defeat of the Postecoglou era so far. Saturday's hosts still reside in 5th, 3 points below Aston Villa with a game in hand. While a spot in the revamped Champions League therefore remains in Spurs' hands, Postecoglou has repeatedly professed that finishing in the top 4 is not the overriding goal for his Tottenham team, who at least have 6 wins from their last 7 Premier League home games under their belts. The Lilywhites are also on a 23-game scoring sequence in front of their own fans in the top flight but have been found wanting defensively for a while now. Postecoglou's men have failed to keep a clean sheet in their last 10 Premier League home games since a 2-0 October over recent conquerors Fulham. Rob Edwards' Luton Town side cannot offer Tottenham any pointers when it comes to defensive discipline, having conceded for the 9th game in a row during their March 16 showdown with Nottingham Forest, who took the lead at Kenilworth Road through Chris Wood's opener. However, the Hatters refused to surrender, waving the white flag. And just 4 minutes after being introduced as a late substitute, former Cambridge United and Barnsley midfielder Luke Berry scored his maiden Premier League goal to salvage a dramatic point for the newly promoted outfit. Luton's failure to sink the tricky trees saw them squander the chance to climb out of the relegation zone, but thanks to Forest's recent 4-point penalty for breaching profit and sustainability rules, Edwards' men have shot up to 17th place and are 1 point better off than Nuno Espirito Santo's side. Both Luton and Forest fans will be waiting with bated breath to hear the outcome of the Tricky Trees appeal, though, and it is now 9 games without a win for this weekend's visitors to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, despite scoring in all of those encounters. In fact, the Hatters have made the net bulge in all but 4 of their 29 Premier League games so far, although one of those scoreless outings was October's 1-0 home defeat to a 10-man Tottenham, leaving them without a win against their more esteemed opponents since November 1987. Team news. After picking up a thigh injury during the 4-goal success at Villa Park, Mickey van de Ven was unavailable for Spurs' loss to Fulham or the Netherlands international fixtures. But Postecoglou is keeping his fingers crossed that the centre-back will shake off his concern in time for Saturday. However, Fraser Forster foot, Ryan Sessegnon hamstring and Manor Solomon knee are still on the sidelines for the long term. The latter has been forced to undergo yet another operation following complications. Richarlison, who recently lifted the lid on dealing with depression after the World Cup, did not earn any minutes for Brazil over the international break following his recent knee injury. But he was brought off the bench against Fulham and should now come back into contention for a starting role. As for a ravaged Luton Town, Pelly Ruddock-Panzu came off with a knock on the hour mark against Nottingham Forest and is now on Edwards' touch-and-go list, as is Alfie Doughty, a half-time casualty of that fixture with a tight hamstring. The Hatters' injury crisis worsened further during the international break, as Republic of Ireland winger Chidozie Ogbene missed his nation's loss to Switzerland due to an unspecified injury, which Edwards should shed more light on later in the week. The fitness levels of Mads Andersen calf, Albert Sambi Lokonga thigh and Gabriel Osho knee must also be monitored. But Marvelous Nakamba knee, Jacob Brown knee, Tom Lockyer-Hart, Joe Johnson illness, Elijah Adebayo thigh, Dan Potts thigh and Amari Bell thigh are all out. Tottenham Hotspur possible starting lineup: Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, Udigi, Sarr, Bentancur, Kulusevski, Madison, Son, Richarlison. Luton Town possible starting lineup: Kaminsky, Hashioka, Menji, Burke. Kabor, Barkley, Barry, Townsend, Chung, Clark, Morris. We say, Tottenham Hotspur 4-1 Luton Town. Luton's penchant for goals has not evaporated in spite of their devastating injury catastrophe. And faced with a Spurs crop who lack the recipe for defensive success at home, the visitors ought to give the away end something to cheer. However, the odd consolation goal will likely prove meaningless in the grand scheme of things, as a Tottenham side fresh from a much-needed 2-week reset should bounce back from their Fulham humiliation with a resounding triumph, one which would be enough to take them into the top 4 for at least a couple of hours. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.